U.S. military strikes in Venezuela lead to capture of President Maduro. In a dramatic escalation of tensions in Latin America, the United States launched a large-scale military operation against Venezuela in the early hours of January 3, 2026. The unexpected offensive involved coordinated strikes on multiple military sites and strategic locations across the country, including the capital, Caracas, where explosions and aircraft activity were reported before dawn. According to official announcements from Washington, U.S. forces successfully captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, following the air and ground operation. The couple was reportedly transported out of Venezuela aboard a U.S. warship in the Caribbean Sea. U.S. leaders have stated that Maduro is expected to face criminal charges in the United States, including accusations related to drug trafficking and other serious offenses. The operation represents the most direct military intervention by the United States in the region in decades and marks a significant shift in relations between the two countries. In public statements, U.S. officials framed the action as part of a broader effort to combat narcotics networks and criminal activity linked to Venezuela's leadership, while also asserting that American personnel instructed and supported the mission alongside military forces. In the aftermath of the strikes, Venezuela declared a state of emergency, and its government called on citizens to mobilize in response to what it described as an act of aggression. Conflicting reports have emerged about the internal political situation in Venezuela, including uncertainty over who will lead the country during the transition. Acting officials and military leaders within Venezuela have called for national resistance. The international reaction has been swift and divided. Several governments condemned the United States' use of force as a violation of international law and a threat to national sovereignty, while others expressed cautious support for actions they view as a step toward democratic change. The United Nations and various world leaders have urged restraint, highlighting the potential for broader regional instability. Critics of the operation within the U.S. have raised legal concerns, questioning whether the executive branch had proper authorization to undertake such military action without explicit approval from the nation's legislative body. Supporters, however, argue that the mission dealt a significant blow to a regime they regard as corrupt and repressive. As the situation continues to unfold, analysts warn that Venezuela's future remains uncertain, with possible implications for global politics, regional security, and economic interests, particularly in the country's vast oil sector. The coming days are expected to shed more light on how Venezuelans and the international community will respond to this historic and controversial event.